These athletes have promised us a war. Let's see if they deliver. Can't score with that jab. That jab won't score. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. They both want a knockout, you can tell. I know boxing fans around the world feel like Christmas morning with these two finally in the ring.
It's so hot, so heat, there's a roof on here, you don't understand it. When you're working, when the noise is there, the pressure's on, you're thirsty, you're sweating, and you're getting under. You're on the wrong side of a beating. This can be hellfire on you.
Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? Punch, counter punch. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. That counter shot lands. Nice counter punch right up the middle. And he scores with the counter. A perfect counter shot. Catch and shoot. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Defense is not an option for these two. Those counter punches have to hurt. Counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
The straight right just misses. Is dazed. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
Dominance.
I need you to win this round.
Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Got him there. He threw a punch and just got countered. This counter puncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
To beat a counter puncher, you've got to take them out of their pace. Do not wait for them, because if you wait, they'll pepper and pop you all night long. Rush them.
The perfect counter lands. Beautiful counter shot. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. When are we going to see a jab from these two? How about that time counter shot? They exchange punches. The hand speed in these lighter divisions is always so impressive, but if you can sneak in a power shot every once in a while and sit down on a punch, that's where you separate yourself. It's all offense all the time. Beautiful counter punch. No rest for the weary. Good counter punching. There's a scoring blow. So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. Both want the knockout. There's a counter shot. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. Let's get it started in round 3. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
In this division, both fighters will constantly be on their toes trying to punch and counterpunch.
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you've hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Good counterpunch. That counterpunch caught him clean. Big hook thrown, but it doesn't connect. Nice punch. Nice counter shot. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
Nice counter shot. The charts action from both of these fighters. Nice counter. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. The straight right just misses. That punch landed. Done with that counter shot. Here we go with the lightweights. Get ready to see some blazing hand speed and fancy footwork.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in the fight. They've got to relax.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Nice counter punch. Nice counter shot. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. What would you tell the... Here we go to the 4th round. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A perfect counter lands. Nice job getting that punch through. A perfect counter lands. No rest for the weary. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you gotta think him. You just gotta be smarter than him. You've gotta be like a little faggot and pickpocket him.
How about that time counter shot? And this is with that jab. Perfect punch. Good counter punching. That jab misses. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out of there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
And he scores with the counter. Swing and a miss with that left hook. One punch could change everything in this battle. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Both men step back for just a moment. And he scores with the counter. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. Back into the fray here in round 5. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Those counter punches have to hurt. You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. It's all offense all the time. A perfect counter shot. He threw a punch and just got countered. This fight has a real good flow to it. Nice counter shot. Well, you know, in this division, you got to have speed and you got to have footwork or you're going to be a cooked goose.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. That counter shot lands. Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards. wasn't ready for that counter punch. They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. Nice counter shot. Do you believe what we're seeing? There's a counter shot. Nice counter shot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Let's reset.
This is the beginning of round 6. After that last round, something has got to change.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Nice counter. He threw a punch and just got countered. Nice counter punch right up the middle. You've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses. How do you deal with it?
Some fighters are just gifted. Gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Nice counter shot. Oh, that punch. The counter lands. Nice slip to avoid the jab. Well, Johnny, you know, in the lightweight division, they've got fast hands, so get ready to see some lightning.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Straight right just misses. Catch and shoot. You'd like to see more jabs. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Throws the jab, it doesn't score. Robinson got buzzed there. He's in trouble. Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. And there's the bell for round 7. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Insane action. Jab slightly off target. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. It's not always about who hits harder. In this division, ring IQ can go a long way.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Good counter punching. Sugar Ray Robinson just got rocked. And right back into the fray.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
A perfect counter lands. Good counter punching. Misses with the jab. Beautiful counter punch. And that hook misses. There's a counter shot. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. It's knockout or bust for both of these fighters. What a punch. Good counter punch. And he scores with the counter. Fantastic punch. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Robinson. Round 8, and we're off again. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
Perfect counter shot. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Robinson hit hard and he may be ready to go. And apparently no rest for the weary. Thought about taking a breath, but instead, they're in there throwing bombs again.
Bean Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
They block that jab. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. I can't believe we're only halfway through the round. Whoa, did you see that? Give me just a second here, Johnny. Robinson got buzzed there. He's in trouble. Looks like they've shaken it off.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
He threw the hook, didn't land. Punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. The judges have spoken.